Hey, what's going on, guys? So we're going to take a look at a little project that I've been working on here in the quarantine. It's a solar panel installation for my 6x12 carry-on travel box trailer. I've wanted to put solar in this for quite a while, really for the purpose of just making it easier to run electricity in the trailer. Not having to run an extension cord to the trailer, having its own self-contained system for minor things like lights, charging tool batteries, stuff like that. So this is the 100-watt Harbor Freight system. I picked this up the other day. You can get it for about $189. They do sometimes run a discount on it. So I picked up this kit as well as one of their 35 amp hour deep cell batteries and a couple of little pieces of hardware, and I have a general idea of how I want to install it. We'll get into that in a little bit. So here's the trailer. As I said, this is my 12x6 just standard kind of V-nosed travel trailer, or rather a utility trailer. I use it for my snowmobile, sometimes my motorcycle, and I like to just have a little area to kind of have all my tools that's mobile. So I had two parts to this project. First part was building this shelf here, which I did kind of in the V-nose area, just to use some of that kind of unused V-nose space that's nothing, good for nothing but sometimes putting a spare tire. So I did that, and then I decided that I wanted to start the solar project. So I'll show you what I have done so far. Right now, obviously, as you saw, I just have the solar running from the outside just to get the battery charged up and to start working in here, because I don't have the solar panels actually mounted on the roof yet. So we have the cord from the panel array coming in through the door here, and what I have done so far is I built a little mounting bracket and installed the charge controller. This is from the kit that you get at Harbor Freight. It's a pretty neat, I think pretty well featured charge controller that comes with the system. So this takes the solar charge and then outputs it to a 12-volt battery, or directly to anything that you plug in here. So you can plug in some USBs, comes with two USB ports, as well as some DC outputs to run accessories such as their LED lights, which the kit comes with two. So what I did was I mounted the charge controller as well as this Harbor Freight Jupiter brand 1000 volt continuous 2000 volt peak inverter, and I have it mounted on the same bracket there. You can see I have a rechargeable tool charger over here mounted for the time being. I have the battery over on this side of the front of the trailer right now, just to distribute it a little bit more evenly, and then I have the wires from the battery running to the inverter. Right now I have a little bit too short of pieces, so I'm gonna have to redo that with a little bit longer piece to get it to do what I want it to do. And you can see that we also have the power from the charge controller coming down into the battery here. So that's where the battery is living currently. So what I do is, so far I just have one place on the right side of the bench where I'm routing my wires through. I'm going to probably clean this up a little bit better later once I get everything figured out. But for now, I have both light wires coming up the right side of the trailer. Like I said, I'll probably bury these in this corner piece, but right now I have them coming up over the side of the wall, and the one just runs along the upper edge of the trailer to the back here. So this is a LED light, so you don't have to worry about it draining a lot of your battery. Then I just have a staple up here to kind of hold it in place. And then I have the other wire for the light run to the left side, so the left front and the right rear is where I have the lights. And basically what I did with this one just for now is I kind of routed the wire up into the channel of this cross member here, and then just have it coming down along this side and then through a little hole that I drilled out. So that's kind of where we're at. I'll follow up in a little bit and we'll see what I'm going to be doing for mounting these panels. Right now my plan is to obviously these all collapse. You can see they have these kind of collapsible frames that allow you to angle them off into the sun if you don't want to mount them on any sort of frame. So what I'm going to do is I plan on making a frame. I have 2 pressure treated 2x4s that I'm going to cut into about 5-foot lengths, and then I'm going to have 1 2x4 running the width of all of these panels, and then each panel has 2 screw holes on either side, and so I'll just mount them along the 5-foot sections of 2x4, and then on each end of the 2x4 I'm going to mount kind of an L bracket, and then through the bottom of that L bracket the frame will be mounted to the top of the trailer. So I think I'm going to only have 4 contact points to the trailer, but my plan is just to get them into the flange of this cross member here, like they did for mounting the roof. So I'll have a bolt that comes through on this side and bolts into the L bracket up top, and I think that'll be sufficiently secure. So I'll have to measure these out. I'm going to do it across 3 cross members, so they'll start here, bypass this one, and then terminate into this one. So that's the plan. We'll pick up in a little bit. Alright, so we got the panels partially installed on the roof. They're not actually fastened down to the roof yet, but they are on the mounting bracket that I just made. So this 2x4 is cut to match the cross members inside of the trailer. So as you can see here, I have it fastened on each side with these little 1/4-inch bolts, and then I have the bracket and everything siliconed with washers on both sides, top and bottom. So I have this bracket sufficiently mounted to the top there. It's not going anywhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm just spacing out the panels kind of evenly, and I'll be fastening them down into the 2x4 just using regular wood screws and washers. Once I get that other side mounted and get everything leveled up, I'm going to leave the fastening of the panels to last. That way, even if my brackets here are a little bit off, I can still level up the panels by adjusting them before I fasten them to the actual 2x4. And for cable management, just kind of for now, I have the excess cables cable tied. I'm going to probably end up stuffing it under this first solar panel and then wire tying the bundle of cables to the 2x4 itself. And then right now I have the power line running through the door, but what I'll be doing is drilling a hole up there, and I plan on using some 3/4 inch pipe to kind of get it down through there and channeled down into the front of the trailer where the battery and charge controller are. Alright guys, so here's the deal. As you can see, the project is completed. The project began on April 8th, 2020, and I am now making this video on November 14th, 2021, which obviously is quite a while after I started the project. I did finish the project like the same day or the next day that I started it. I don't know what happened. I saw a squirrel or something and got distracted and just forgot about finishing this video. So I was going through the footage recently and realized that I had most of the footage I needed to finish the project done. So I might as well just do a final video to show you how it came out, and then I can actually speak on a 1.5 years worth of experience with this setup and tell you how it's done. So as you can see, we did end up putting on the other side of the mount, and I mounted all 4 corners with these L brackets and just silicone them up. And you can see I did put a 90-degree elbow there to put the wiring down through, and I put the elbow facing the rear of the trailer. That way if I'm, you know, driving or, you know, whatever in the rain, it's not scooping up the water and sending it down into the trailer. I also siliconed the inside of that fitting to make sure it was as waterproof as possible. All the wiring, as I indicated, kind of just got tucked underneath the panels, and then everything got zip tied. So this is exactly as I left it when I finished the project. I haven't had to do any modifications of any sort. Nothing has loosened up, nothing has come undone. It's rocked really well. Nothing has happened to it in the thousands and thousands of miles I've put on this trailer doing highway speed. So it's a solid setup as far as I'm concerned. I do every few months get on the trailer and try to clean the panels off, just make sure they're nice and clear. I should probably do it again soon. During the winter, obviously, it becomes an issue because the snowpack will cover up the solar panel and then obviously affect your ability to generate power. So if you don't keep on that, you end up with kind of an ice pack on the top of your trailer that doesn't want to ever come off over the winter. So yeah, that's the final setup completed on the top. Now I'll show you the inside. So these are the mounting points on the inside, the bolts that were put at the end of the 2x4. And here are the 2 that are on this end on the left side of the trailer. So there's 8 bolts in total, 4 for each board. And again, these are siliconed on the top and on the bottom here. So I have the wiring running down this channel here, and then I have it pop out over here, and I've got some of the excess wiring tucked underneath here, and then that runs down to here, and then I have it running behind this trim piece coming down, and then I got a hole drilled over here where it comes out, and then it goes into the charge controller. So you can see the charge controller, and then I have the Jupiter inverter that I also got from Harbor Freight, which has performed absolutely perfect. I did end up making a battery box for the battery. So you can take a look in there. There's the battery, and then I drilled on the sides of the battery box just some holes for ventilation and stuff like that, and I used a piece of pipe to just keep the wires very vertical coming out of there. so I wouldn't have any kinks or issues. And then I've got up here a power strip mounted to the bottom of my table. So in order to get this thing up and running, literally all I have to do is turn the inverter on, and then the power strip comes on, and then we're charging. The battery is okay at capacity wise. I mean, I can charge up on a fully charged battery. I can probably fully charge 3 or 4, various power tool batteries, as far as, the capacity of what the battery in the trailer can hold as compared to, the tool batteries. I'd say I get about 3 to 4 batteries worth of charges out of that battery, but it is a fairly small capacity battery, so that's something that can certainly be upgraded. Adding a couple more batteries in parallel will certainly up your capacity, but for me it's worked out real well. I might do that in the future, but if you have any questions or anything about this project or how I did anything, feel free to give me a comment, and I'll get back to you. But I thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.